little duck. Look at that little duck. Kind of late in summer for, I think, for little ducks like that. Duckling. Huh, it's a late hatcher. I guess they're local ducks. They'll be fine. Little duck and his mom. I don't know where the papa duck is. Boy, that little duck's got to do some growing. I don't think they're migrating though. I think they're just here all the time, so that means they don't really have to get big and fly and migrate. The ducks that are in the normal migration, they've got to hatch out early in the late spring so that they can feed all summer long, so they can fly. They can fly south. That little duckling's not going to be big for a while, but they're just going to live here all winter anyway. So it's a good place to spend the winter if you're the whole year if you're a duck. The Outer Banks a little warm in the summertime, but there's food here pretty much all the time, and I guess the predators are probably a little heavy. Raccoons and foxes, even some of these bigger fish, maybe even. Well, it's a beautiful evening. The days are still long. There's our duck. Hey, little duck. The sunset's now about 8 o'clock. It's peaceful out here. We just had a little rain shower, a little bit of lightning and thunder, but it mostly went west up here, and it was a small storm. In fact, we weren't even supposed to have any rain today. It just got so hot that it produced a localized thunder. Oh, you can still see part of it. Try not to ever hold grudges. It's hard. Some people are better at it than others of letting things go, but when you're in the present moment, and you're always in the present moment, you know, if you'll let your mind be there, and you can really get the most out of yourself, and by you know, having a plan for the future, but taking your moments, you know, as they come, without being caught up on things. And the things that could happen just during the day that upset you, interactions with people, a lot of times that can, you know, there's things that you won't really think much of again in the future, but they still can consume a lot of your time, that you don't, your mental capacity that you don't need to give up, you know. The grudges. And some people say, you know, like athletes especially are one, they can kind of use those things to motivate themselves. And I think that's not that's part of life. So I think that's not a totally bad idea, but you got to still be even careful with that. I mean, you don't want to invite conflict and things into your life just so that you can use them to motivate you. But assuming that they happen, because it's life and that's what it is, then it may be, using them to, as if you can channel that a little bit and motivate you, but you can't let it be hung up on grudges, and this is just, everybody's got to deal with those things, but it helps for people to pass that along, to other people, that, because it was part of learning in life is that you learn that things really can disrupt your productivity, your peace of mind, and your happiness, and then even then you have stuff from bigger things that have happened in your life, and you got to kind of sort them out and learn how to appropriately navigate and know your history and your past, so that you can kind of have an understanding of what's brought you to where you are. But the thing that's really going to kind of shape the shape how you feel is going to be how well you're pursuing your goals. It really changes the way that we feel about things that have happened in our past, is how well we're dealing with things in the present. So it's really weird. When I say weird, I mean, you can make sense of it, you can kind of rationalize why it is, but it's a profound thing if you and you can kind of simplify it a little bit by just thinking in terms of like basic needs, like if you're hungry, how that can affect your mood or whatever, or if you hadn't gotten enough sleep, if you have a good amount of rest, it really affects the way you feel about things, and whether you're sleepy and stuff like that. So you can kind of think of that, and then think of these bigger picture things like things that have, whatever kinds of things that have happened in one's life. If you're able to kind of work on your ability to set goals and to work towards your goals as you start to achieve them, and a lot of that has to do with, I believe, developing your spiritual side, and if you can, in the right kind of way, thank God and be thankful and grateful for what you've got, and and appreciate where you're at, and do all the things that help keep your body healthy, then have healthy relationships, and be thoughtful for others, but also be thoughtful for yourself. Then when you're having success, you kind of look at your past events as being the things that got you to where you were, and that you can have an appreciation for those things, because they got you to where you want to be. But if you sort of start missing the point of being in the present moment and not setting your goals correctly, and don't letting yourself get discouraged because things don't always work out. But that's just a real part of the daily life, and the big picture is that that even that we don't always get it. We don't get things right all the time. We make lots of mistakes, and we definitely need to get better at whatever it is that we're doing, so we make less mistakes. But how we handle those mistakes, or call them failures. But let's say we learn from things that don't work out the way we anticipated them. If we take those and we can direct those things and energy into learning, and to and when we keep moving forward, then we start getting better results. And then if we kind of stop, which, you know, can happen to anybody. It happens to all of us, but we then start to view past things, which are probably, you know, real, but we start to look more to blame those things for our failures rather than to be grateful for them, for the fact that we've kind of moved through life and they've been building blocks. You know, it's like, you know, it's the same thing, but they leave us with two different impressions or feelings about life. And it's okay, I mean, that we all experience that, but just, you know, work hard to build your internal compass and your mind, your body, and your spirit, and your relationship with God, or your nature, whatever, the unknown, the thing that's bigger than us all. And yeah, just be grateful for it all. Love you.